Hey guys, Juan here. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. And there's some excitement for today's conversation all about why do we struggle with seeking approval? More specifically, seeking approval because we are afraid of saying no, because we struggle with saying no, because it's difficult with saying no, the big NO. Sometimes that means that we are pleasers, that we are yes person, right? A yes person. You find yourself in situations day after day, week after week, you look back and you go, oh, I'm saying yes too many times. There's a struggle with the boundaries, a struggle with putting those walls up, a struggle with being genuine with yourself and with other people and letting them know, fuck, I wish I could say no. I want to say no, but I keep saying yes. And I want to dive into a conversation with you on why we do that and how to overcome that challenge. Because I know you're tired, I know you're exhausted. I know you want to find yourself in a position where you're able to have those boundaries. You're able to confidently say yes when you want to say yes, and you're able to confidently say no when you want to say no. So let's get into that. We seek approval often for a lot of variables, a lot of reasons, but the core one, if you will, like the big papa, the big reason why, has to do with self-esteem. And it's important for us to know the definition of self-esteem. We've seen the other videos that I've shared here on the channel. You can check it out there. If not, I'm going to go back over it here. If you need to skip right through it. But let's go over it because it's important. Self-esteem. One really important word in there I like to look at always is self. That means it's yours. You own it. You are the boss there. And you can manipulate it. You can make it go up. You can make it go down. But it's through work. It's through the trenches. It's through getting your hands dirty. It's through meditation, practice, yoga, fitness, sitting with a counselor, sitting with yourself. It's through all of those holistic practices where you're allowed to work on your you. And it's not always easy. It's not always just, sunshines and butterflies. Sometimes it's murky. It's getting in mud and it's hurt and it's pain. But self-esteem is really important when it comes to why we struggle with seeking approval. Often we have a low self-esteem. The definition of a self-esteem, which I've borrowed a lot of resources here, um, is your ability to believe in yourself. Your ability to know your own worth. Yeah, the respect that you have for yourself, your self-respect. It's how much you like yourself, how much you appreciate yourself. And when we have a low self-esteem, it means that I don't like myself. I don't appreciate myself. I have low self-respect, right, for myself. I don't believe in my worth. I don't believe in my abilities. So then, it's easy to acknowledge if that's where we're at, right? If our spectrum of self-esteem is low, it makes sense on why we find ourselves in situations where we always say yes. Because saying yes, I want you to think about that. If somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey Juan, can you buy me a cup of coffee?" and I say yes, they are more than likely going to smile, right? They're going to get excited. They're going to thank me. They're going to show gratitude, and that shit feels good. And I think it's important for us to get that it feels good when we receive that from other people. I know that we skipped right over a key point, but let's talk about that feel good process. It feels good when we say yes. It feels good when we say yes because they're providing us like this quick drug, if you will. That cup of coffee. Can you do my homework for me if you're a student? Can you stay? Can you stay in the office late today? Do you mind doing extra work for us? And you're saying yes, and you're saying yes. And often it's that mixture. It's the mixture of low self-esteem, but with low self-esteem because we don't like ourselves, because we don't appreciate ourselves, because we lack that respect for ourselves. We are seeking it elsewhere, right? So that comes with seeking approval. We seek it elsewhere. And it's in these situations where you're overworked employee, right? And you're tired and you're burnt the fuck out, right? You're tired of shit. And then somebody comes up and you have that low self-esteem and somebody comes up and says, I need you to do a little bit more. And then you say yes, and they get excited. They give you a thumbs up. They give you that gratitude. They give you that boost in energy that you need for you to feel better in that moment, right? But then you go home, and we experience this. We experience this if we say yes a lot. After saying yes, we go home, and we are physically and mentally burnt out. We resent those relationships with the very people we're saying yes. Not always, but often. We don't show them our genuine self. They don't know who I really am because I'm always saying yes. They think I'm this yes person. But fuck, I like to say no sometimes, but I'm not saying no to you, so you don't really get to know me. And we do that. We do that because we get anxious, we get insecure, we get doubtful. What happens if I say no? How do things change? So I have any experience saying no. And earlier I shared with you that the core reason people struggle with seeking approval or approval seeking behaviors, tendencies is because of self-esteem. But it's also because of other variables, culture, upbringing, Maybe you grew up in a house, right? And you're growing up and you're 10 years old, and then for years, right, for a decade, for 10 years, and so forth. Years after that, you're in this house where you're engaging in that same behavior. You notice every time you say no, people just really attack you. So then you learn to say yes. You learn to say yes to protect yourself, but you also learn to say yes because you had that upbringing there. Or it could be that the times that you do say yes, you notice that you're rewarded. You notice that your parents give you the love and support that you're looking for. They provide you that approval. And every time you say no, you don't get it. They pull it right back from you. So then your mind, right, your mind and body connect and go, maybe I should say yes. Because when I say no, I see all the negatives that happen. So I kind of want us to take a step back. If you need to rewatch any point of this video, hopefully I didn't go too fast. But let's take a step back and take a deep breath. It's important to breathe as we're learning. Breathe as we're learning so we're able to really let it ingrain, let it connect with us. So now that you're doing that, let's step back in. And then we're going to go into understanding fixed and growth mindset. It's a lady named Carol Dweck. Check her out. Lots of books, lots of YouTube videos. Phenomenal pioneer, phenomenal with the work that she does. And I like to keep psychology simple. I like to keep mental health simple. Otherwise, it even makes me kind of go, what is being explained there? So with that being said, fixed mindset in this example of saying no comes out with certain cognition, certain thought processes. It could be that you think to yourself and you go, if I say no, they're not going to like me. If I say no, I'm going to be criticized. If I say no, I'm going to be judged. So these are statements that you're throwing out there, and those statements lead to you engaging in that no, right? Engaging in saying yes. This growth mindset, it's really about expanding the way that you're thinking, looking at things in a different way. So if I'm in that position where I struggle to say no, and I'm always saying yes, I then come up with different reasons of why it's important to say yes. I go, well, you know what? It's important for you to have a strong relationship with this person, Bob. And I'm always telling Bob yes, but I go home and I resent the shit out of it. Bob's not really getting a chance to know me. I'm not getting a chance to know him. So I'm going to work on saying no. I want to work on saying, hey, Juan, can you help me move this weekend? I'm already tied up with so many things that I'm doing. Bob, I really would like to do that, but I'm not able to. But I appreciate you asking me that. And I'm nervous. I'm anxious because my fixed mindset is going to go back to the past and say, hey, they're probably going to do what your parents did. They're probably going to pull away any love, any kindness. And then what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to give myself an opportunity to see something new, right? Because it happened yesterday won't mean it's going to happen today. And it's my self-esteem, right? I am working on that. I'm working on giving myself that love, that confidence, believing in myself, that self-respect. Maybe that moment Bob goes, oh, it's okay. And then in my mind, I'm like, it's okay. Fireworks. I can't believe it's okay. I can't believe that's a response. And what it does is it gives you one opportunity to see it differently. Growth mindset. Now you have a new definition in there because now your brain, your mind and body are able to go, when I say yes, it doesn't have to lead to what happened in the past. It doesn't have to lead to those negatives. And now you're hearing, as a side note, my dog Riddle, he's like, can you please be quiet and come play with me? It's like every time I do a video, he's always trying to get in there. At some point, I'll let you check him out. But going back, giving yourself a new opportunity to play with being able to say yes so that you can see that somebody can give you a kindness and then you can give yourself that kindness. That's just one little strategy there. I want you to take another deep breath. We did some work here. We spent about 8 minutes together. These videos, I want them to be informative, but also want them to be a nudge. Maybe you nudge yourself in a certain direction, whether it's a self-help book, watching some YouTube videos, lots of awesome things on YouTube. It's like a whole, university there, if you will. But also some things that, are a little bit interesting, if you will. Reach out to a counselor in your area, whether it's in my area, your area. Find yourself in a situation or in a position that you can learn, you can grow. And then one of the most important things I want you to take away from this is self-compassion. Love yourself beyond any reason. And then number 2, it is working on your self-esteem. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope that you have an amazing day.